Hello and welcome to the Knitting Cows podcast. I am Anna, the knitter, and these are the cows. We are coming to you from Trier, the oldest and most beautiful city in Germany. I have good news. Spring is coming. So, this week I don't have any finished objects. I do have a half-finished object, which also broke my number one rule of sock knitting. I never wanted to have more than one pair of socks on the needles at a time. But I got tempted. So I made this. This is from the leftover yarn, which I showed you last week. An ankle sock with contrasting heel and toes. I have one finished, that's why half finished project. And the second one, it's on the needles. I decided to do the opposite heel and toes. So this is gonna have a green heel and a red toe. This has a red heel and a green toe. I love this apple green. It must be a Regia, but I don't have the tag anymore. So half finished object. I'm keeping this project in. This is a cosmetic bag, which I got on Amazon. It was cheap, but it's okay. I have worse. Then I worked some on my grain shawl by Team Ken Knits. I had to rip a lot of it, like till here. I had to rip all this out till here because I did the yarn over where there was no yarn over supposed to be. And I ripped out till here, and then I did this again. And I still have so much left from this ball, but I still have a skin of it. This is Fog by Madeline Tosh. And I know the pattern is in 3 or 4 colors, but I decided to make it in only one color. Then, after I worked on this, I also worked some, but not very much, on my granny stripe blanket. Wait, let me show you. Where are you? There. Oh, wrong side. So, right side. So, this is where I was last time. And then I did all this piece. It's not much, but due to the fact that the blanket is so wide, it was quite a lot of work. So, then what did I do? Ah yeah, so that's all my knitting and crocheting this week. I was lazy, but I did some other crafts like this. I made some project keepers. This is the woolly project keeper set which I did. Hey, turn around. We have a sheep, some yarn, a scarf, and turn over, and a sock. So this is the woolly stuff. Then I did this. I call them yarny tools. There's a spool of yarn, some buttons which are upside down, yeah, some buttons, a scissor, and a tiny clothespin. And the last set of project keepers which I made. I call this Tea Party. I love tea. And it's made of a dress, because one has to dress up for a tea party. Then comes the tea bag, the kettle, and of course the cup. I really like these ones. And what else have I done? Oh yeah, I made some furry poms. This hat I showed you last time. I find that it really makes more of the hat. I just have to tie it better. It's a little bit wobbly. Made this. I made pumps. I had a piece of fur, this is real fur, in the house, so I made a few more. Some bigger, some smaller. There are 6 in total, so I still have 5 left. And what else have I done? I did some sewing. I have a lot of needles, which have their own cases, but I have some needles, some inherited needles, and some which I bought, which don't have a case. So I made myself this DPN holder roll. It's just a prototype. I bought myself some fabric to make a bigger one because this was just tiny. It has a flap to keep the needles from falling out. It has a small pouch row here down for keeping small stuff. Then it has these pockets for keeping needles 10-15 centimeters long. I have some longer ones in here. And then it has these other pockets here for keeping longer needles, like 20-30 centimeters long ones. It's not bad for a prototype, but I did some mistakes, like in the sewing it dragged, or where here I didn't realize I didn't cut all the fabric as I sewed it. That's why this is just a prototype. But I like bananas and monkeys and the yellow lining. I think it fits, even though the fabric that I bought for the real one, for the good one, it's also nice. So I made this prototype, and then I dyed yarn. Yes, I know, everybody dyes yarn, but I decided to dye some myself. I have dyed yarn in the past, but this week I really went crazy with dyeing yarn. Sorry, I have to have a drink. And out of the picture. So, I've dyed some yarn. I dyed peachy blue, which is what it says. It's peachy, and it has specks of blue and teal and pink and some green. Peachy blue. I like peachy. It's funny color. Then I made Easter with a lot of green and blues for the blue sky in spring, and this yellowy orange, which reminds me of tiny chicks. So I made Easter. Then I made Speckled Dream, which is teal with speckles of blue and violet and then pink. Wait, teal is my favorite color at the moment. You will see more teal. Then I did Moonless Night, which is a dark gray, almost black, with small specks of red and blue, which just show the background of the black. I'm gonna use this for heel, calf and toes because it's too dark to use as a complete sock. I like my socks very colorful. Then I made this. I call this Spring. It reminds me of spring flowers, a meadow full of spring flowers, but I kept the background the natural color. It has yellows and greens and pinks and blues. I have wounded myself, that's why I haven't done so much. I'm gonna show you with what I've wounded myself. Then, wait, well, we're not done. This is black turquoise, which explains everything. This might spiral nice in a sock, I'm not sure, but I like it. Then I have done this. This is a gradient from this inky blue to very light blue. I call this Frozen. These are gonna be nice socks. I'm gonna love them. Then I did this. This is another gradient from red to pink, which I called Rosarote Panther, which is the Pink Panther in German. But in German it's not called Pink Panther, it's called the pinkish reddish panther. So pinkish reddish panther. So I did that. And last week I was at the cinemas with a very good friend of mine, and we saw the 50 Shades of Grey movie, which was okay. And inspired from the movie, I did my Shades of Grey, Mr. and Mrs. Grey I call it, which is also a gradient grey with quite stark specks of blue. Let me find them. Where are they? There. They're not all over. See? Stark specks of blue, which are solid, each on their place, and then quite a washed out Mrs. Grey, because I don't know, I don't like her. It's not that I like him very much, but I don't like her even. I like her even less. So I did this. I guess I would have been happier that if I would have left the specs out. Too late. And I had all these dyes mixed, and I had lots of teal, blue and green left over. So I made this skein of leftovers. This is very irregularly painted. These are going to be some home socks. But the high of the dyeing period is actually the next skein, which is also the last skein. I'm not going to trouble you more. This is called Very British, which is a self-striping yarn. It's gonna stripe in quite big stripes, maybe an inch, so 3 centimeters, 2.5, 3 centimeters throughout the sock, in equally wide stripes. I call this Very British because it is inspired by a very famous English brand which makes nice trench coats. So it's gonna be striped, fitting those. I plan to cast this on and take them with me to Edinburgh as my work in progress on the road, in the airplane. So I love them, they're so squishy. This is a 4-ply, 75% virgin wool, 25% polyamide. It's very squishy and solid and sturdy. The others were in 4 and 6 plies mixed, so some went 4, some went 6. So I can't wait to knit these ones up. So that's it, all the yarny stuff. I could not knit or crochet very much this week. I injured myself. It's not deep, but it's quite irregularly cut, and it snags and everything. And we had Valentine's Day, we had the wedding anniversary. Yeah, I'm now over 13 years married, which is a lot. My poor husband. And then I did the big project, which is a shelf. Yeah, it sounds crazy, but I made myself a wool shelf, which is this. So I got the idea, and when I get an idea, I have to apply it. If it comes to be something usable or not, it's something else. But well, I had the idea, and on the way to the fabric store to buy the fabric for my DPL holder, which I haven't sewed yet, I come near a home improvement store. So before I left, I decided to look for some wood boards to make myself the shelf. So because I'm not very good at measuring stuff in technical and like this, I cut myself out some templates using all newspapers to know how much wood I need and to make the shape of the project. So on Saturday, the busiest day in the home improvement store, I went and started laying boards on the floor. Everybody was looking at me funny, and I unpacked my templates taped out from pieces of newspaper I'm starting laying them on these boards to see how they fit and how many boards would I need. Then a guy came that worked in this shop, asked me if he can help me. Well, that was funny because he got it, what I wanted to make, but was very, very skeptical. Like, well, I was skeptical myself. But in the end, we managed to calculate. He calculated. I just flipped my templates around to see how they fit. And I got 3 big boards of wood. And came home with it. And my husband didn't allow me to use the power tools. So, because I did this with a hand saw. Imagine what I would have done with a power tool. So, I had a tiny saw. Sorry, my project bags just fell over. And I had to cut around the corners, and it was quite a lot of cutting because it is quite shapy, my shelf. And I was cutting for hours and hours and hours on my shelf. And I didn't want it to stop because I knew if I stopped, I will never make it again. And I cut it. It's done. And then I assembled it and tried to go to sleep, which was a very bad idea. I could not sleep all night long. I had so much pain in my arm from sawing all this wood that I woke up after an hour crying in sleep from pain. I took some pain pills and then started dying. Because what can one do when the muscles hurt so much that I could not sleep, I could not knit, I could not crochet, so I died. Yarn, not myself. So wait, I'm gonna put this away. And I will try to introduce, to include some pictures from my project, which I made at the end. I hope that works. I'm not sure. I don't know how to introduce to induce pictures, but well, I guess I'm gonna have to learn, because I talked to you so much about this project, which I love, and I will possibly do it again because this is just a prototype. But I will have to wait. It will have to wait till at least summer, because no, I'm not in a mood to sew so much by hand. Maybe my husband will help me and sew for me with the power tools. And then I'm gonna take a thicker wood, because I took the really thin one, not to have to sew too much. But it was still a lot of work because it is a big shelf with lots of corners, and well, that's it. I didn't do any reading. Well, I read some, but it's nothing to mention. I read at work. I cannot knit or crochet during work, but sometimes I have like 5 minutes free, and then I read 2 or 3 pages on my iPhone. And that's it. That's my week. Little needlework, lots of dyeing. I love my project keepers. And like I said, hope is coming. Spring is coming. I missed use this tiny cow. This is a milk creamer cow in the portion for espresso. Tiny, 1 person, but I love my flowers. They really make me feel hopeful and springy. They are from the garden, so they are not from the glass house or something like this. And when they start coming in the garden, I know spring is coming. So that's it for today. I really hope I can insert the pictures in the end, because I'm very proud of it. See you next week, or, well, I truly hope we will see each other next week again. Bye!